Hi, mother-in-law. Thank you for taking care of me for 35 years. Were you expecting me to say that? What? You're still an unlivable daughter-in-law until the very end. From now on, I don't want to call you mother-in-law anymore. I'll call you Rose instead. Do as you like. I don't even want to remember you were technically my daughter-in-law. Let's cut ties completely while we're at it. For once, we finally agree. So, when are you gonna move out? Get out already. If you're not gone by the time Leo and I get back, you'll be sorry. My moving boxes are already packed, and I'm just waiting for my ride now. Oh, I see. You married into this family 35 years ago. I heard everyone in your family had passed away, leaving you with no relatives. So you managed to find a friend to give you a ride? Surprising. Haha. What time are you leaving? I'm out of here in 10 minutes. Oh, okay. I'll kick you out if you stay longer than that. No need to worry. What do you mean? I want to leave here as soon as possible too. I'm already waiting outside the front door. What? You can't be serious, standing outside with all your belongings? Yes, I am. What about it? On a scorching day like this with no shade, what are you doing? You're right. It's terribly hot today, isn't it? Are you actually concerned about me? How sweet of you. At least wait inside. The neighbors would think something. It's too late for that. Everyone knows what a mean, abusive wife you are. What? You took advantage of my caregiving experience to dump caring for your parents on me. You pushed all the housework onto me. You made me care for your father too. And then as soon as it was all done, you forced me to divorce your son and kicked me out. The whole neighborhood knows about it. What? You can't be serious. You didn't know about that? To badmouth me to the neighbors out of spite for the divorce? How could you? You think the neighbors would believe you? It's a fact. You seem confused, but I didn't do anything. What? You don't know the neighbors heard you screaming insults at me? What are you talking about? The neighbors kept expressing concern for me. Like the time you locked me out at night, they took me in. They even suggested calling the police because it was so bad. When did I ever do that? I just told them not to make a big deal. And that after all, you're still family. Oh, looks like my ride is arriving soon. Anything else to say before we end this chat? If not, I'll put the keys in the mailbox. Okay? Wait a minute. I married in at 21, naive and helpless for 35 years. Leo and your family were so kind. Lily, everyone but you. And 35 years living with my in-laws, I endured a lot. Hey, can we talk for a minute? Before you go, I want you to tell the neighbors the truth, that you weren't abused. I'll be home in a minute. Oops, sorry, I already got in the car. Goodbye. Clara, I may be imagining things, but I didn't see you pull up to that fancy store in Rodeo Drive in a blacked-out luxury car, did I? What's going on? Whose fancy car was that? And who was that man with you? Don't tell me you've already got a new guy as soon as you got divorced. Have you no shame? After being a housewife for 35 years, how can you afford a car like that? The divorce settlement was only meant to cover basic living expenses for a while. What's really happening here? Clara, aren't you going to explain yourself? What's the deal? You know you're supposed to answer my calls right away. How dare a daughter-in-law make her mother-in-law wait like this? Leo, how are things on your end? Is your mother still furious with you? I've been getting so many angry calls and text messages from her.
She's really scary when she's like this. Are you okay? You can't let it affect your health again. Just block Mom, that might be best.
You're right. Even thinking about her is too painful.
When I get home from work earlier, my mom seemed more confused than angry when she saw me.
I mean, she knows I don't have enough money for a luxury car like that. I was surprised to even be in that car myself. I was just going shopping with my brother. She jumped to conclusions as usual. I'll try to set her straight.
In hindsight, it was smart you never told Mom about your half-brother.
Anyway, is the rest of the plan still on track?
Yes. It should all fall into place in about 2 more months. That's when my sister and her family return from their overseas assignment. My mother's scheme will unravel then. It'll work out. We just have to hang in there until then.
Yes, I am waiting patiently for you. Leo, answer the phone. What the hell is going on? Explain yourself.
What happened? I'm at work, but what is this all about?
I haven't heard anything.
What are you talking about?
Why is your sister's stuff delivered here?
The delivery guy said it would be in the afternoon, but oh well.
What are you talking about? Why would Leah's belongings from abroad get delivered to our house?
Oh wait, didn't I mention she said she's coming back home today with her stuff?
Huh?
Mom, are you going senile? I told you about this months ago.
Huh? What? I don't remember that at all.
I said Leah's husband's overseas assignment was ending, so the whole family is moving back. And that eventually we'd live together with the grandkids, so we're renovating this house to make it a multi-family home. Remember?
What are you going on about? Renovating? This is my house. It can't be done without my permission.
What, Mom, did you forget that too? After Dad passed, the house was inherited by me. You really don't listen, do you, Mom?
When did you do that without telling me?
Last summer when they came back for a visit. Alright, you were on that hot springs trip with your friends then.
So just because I didn't know means you can do whatever you want?
I'm pretty sure I mentioned it. I even wrote it on the whiteboard by the entrance.
The whiteboard?
What? You mean you didn't even look at that? Writing important messages on that board was your idea in the first place. Remember? Well, you're always going out, Mom, so it's hard to get a hold of you. And you don't answer calls or read my texts thoroughly. So when I complained, you said it's a hassle to be told everything verbally or over text. And you brought up that whiteboard and put it there yourself, telling me to write things down on it instead. You forgot?
I guess I never got into the habit of checking it. So what are we supposed to do from now on? If Leah and her family will live here, what about me and you?
Oh God. That house belongs to brother-in-law as of this summer.
Huh?
So starting today, you and I have to move out since they'll be living there now. This is what happens when you don't read the board, Mom. You should really discuss your living situation going forward with Leah's family.
Why didn't you tell me something so important in person?
I did tell you. You just weren't listening. You were brushing it off dismissively like, got it. But clearly you didn't actually get it at all.
That wasn't my intention at all. Where will you live? Can't I live with you?
I got assigned to a factory in Texas, so I already sent my stuff up there.
Texas? That's so far.
Oh yeah, I did ask you before if you would want to go to Texas.
You asked me that? I thought you meant for a trip.
I remember you said you'd hate to live somewhere that hot.
But you're going to live up there all alone at your age?
I won't be alone. Clara has already gone up there to wait for me.
What? Clara? Why would she do that? You're telling me your divorced ex is waiting for you up there? You're lying.
I'm not. I never divorced her, and I never planned to either.
What's going on? You really think someone as clueless as Clara would make it up in Texas?
Are you sure about that? Mom, quit disparaging her already. She's useless. You may not have known, but she got all kinds of certifications to work in elderly care. Oh. I knew she had some care certifications to help look after your grandma and grandpa. Certifications, yes. She studied and got licensed for whatever was needed as we went along. I didn't realize that. And that's why you shouldn't talk bad about a hardworking person. Whatever. Actually, right after she left this house, I saw her shackling up with some new guy. She's just a shameless hussy. Ah, I never told you about that. My bad for the misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? Are you saying I'm wrong? The guy you saw with Clara was her brother. What? Don't be ridiculous. Clara's whole family died a long time ago. Mom, I kept this from you, but she's her mom's child from another man. What? She had a different biological father. I didn't mention it because I figured you'd make a fuss over it. Make a fuss over what? So, this other father of Clara's passed away recently and left her an inheritance. Why keep something that important from me? You know I'd have to be involved with anything involving money. Exactly, that's why I didn't tell you. I knew you'd be antsy about it like you are now. Clara's inheritance belongs to the family she married into. See, you're already eyeing her assets. Well, I can't say the thought didn't cross my mind. You've had her do all the housework and elder care. Of course, you tried taking her money too. What? Leo, whose side are you on? I've been on Clara's side from the start. What about me? You're abandoning your own mother? Clara said the only reason she persevered through your constant nagging and belittling to care for Grandma, Grandpa, and Dad until the very end was because I, along with them, thanked her for it over and over. There was a time I suggested moving out, but she said at least while caring for the elders, she couldn't bring herself to leave. A wife as admirable as that, there's no way I'd abandon her. In fact, I plan to keep repaying her from now on. So, what am I supposed to do? You need to have a serious discussion with Leah's family about your living situation going forward. This is insane. I can't believe this is happening. As harsh as this sounds, you should deeply regret all the verbal abuse you put Clara through. Leo, can I come with you to Texas? What? You're still on about that? Sorry, but if it means protecting my wife, I'm willing to cut ties as your son. Please don't say such an awful thing. Well, I won't cut ties completely, but if you keep giving her a hard time, I'll have to seriously consider it. I'll just ask to stay with Leah's family then. I don't care if you abandon me. Oh, I did forget one thing. What now? Is there more? Leah's mother-in-law lives alone, so they decided she'll move in with them too. What? Leah's family, their son's family, the grandkid, and the grandmother all under one roof? Haha. Even with the good wife-mother-in-law relationship they have, that's going to be tight. Haha. Which means there's no room for you, Mom. So what am I supposed to do? A helpless old lady all alone? I asked you about this over and over in advance. It's your own fault for not listening. Well, you'll just have to figure something out then, won't you? It's not too late, is it? I'll apologize to Clara for how I treated her. What good will apologizing to her do? Could you please ask her if she can support me financially to live alone? Please. Mom, I can't even begin to describe how appalling that request is. After everything you put her through and leached off her labor, to come begging for money once you're in a bind? Have you no shame? I never expected things to turn out like this. I thought with her out of the picture, there'd be one less mouth to feed and we'd be better off financially. What an idiotically selfish thing to say. Trying to play the victim after you tried driving Clara out? Even if she forgives you, I never will. And I don't think her brother will either. Her brother? I've never met him or anything. Since you always complained about Clara's family matters, I avoided telling you, but I'll explain.
What is it?
Clara's biological father was a very important person who basically ran this whole area.
What?
And her brother took over as the new boss after him.
You're lying.
Unfortunately not, and in fact, you gave his little sister a hard time, so you're likely on his radar now too.
No way.
That's why stop harassing her. Be careful.
Why is this happening?
Well, in any case, Leah's family will be there soon. So discuss it with them and figure it out. Mom, reflect deeply on how awfully you treated the woman who sacrificed so much to care. Goodbye.
Leo, did you make it to the airport?
Hey Clara. They said boarding starts in 30 minutes.
It's been so long, hasn't it? Finally, after 35 years, it's over.
Oh, I'm sorry for all the trouble I caused you.
No, it's alright. Well, I certainly don't have any fond memories with your mother. Thinking back actually makes me tear up from how much resentment I felt. But your grandparents and father-in-law were always kind to me, and in the end, I was able to repay them by caring for them.
They were all grateful to you.
It was difficult, but I was able to go through it because you were always on my side. Thank you, truly.
No, thank you, Clara. I'm the one who is eternally grateful to have had you taking care of me this whole time. I never properly expressed it to your face, but thank you.
From now on, it will be just the two of us, helping each other out together.
Yeah, that's right.
What is your mother going to do?
I asked my sister earlier, and she said Mom is still in shock, just stunned silent. Probably because I ended up telling her about your family situation too.
What? You told her about my brother?
My bad.
Well, it's fine. When she knows my brother's occupation, she'll probably become much more compliant.
You're probably right. Looks like we're about to board.
I'll go pick you up.
Thank you. See you later.
Yes, see you soon. Since my mother-in-law had nowhere to live, she meekly lived with my sister-in-law's family. But I guess she got tired of having to walk on eggshells because she started acting completely selfish and unrestrained. Eventually, it came out that she had been secretly tormenting Leah's daughter-in-law behind their backs, and she ended up getting kicked out. That said, Leah isn't heartless, so she was looking for an elderly care home that Rose could move into. Rose reluctantly moved in, but since no one would come visit her, probably because of her arrogant attitude, she wasn't able to get along with anyone at the facility either, leaving her isolated and alone, which was her own doing. As pitiful as her lonely twilight years are, word is her dementia has been progressing lately. Apparently, she's been apologizing to the care staff, saying, "I'm sorry, Clara."
Hey, Sarah. Good afternoon. Hey, I was just wondering. It's already been 2 weeks since you moved into that house. Are you all settled in? How are you holding up?
Oh, hey, Arlene. Good of you to call. Surprised that anybody was keeping track of it. Thanks.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know. Our kids are about the same age and will probably be going to the same school.
I'm a bit settled in, but still getting used to the place. But I did get a feeling for the neighborhood and a good idea where all the shops are, especially the supermarket.
Oh, yeah? You do all your shopping, huh?
Excuse me?
Well, you know, you live in that huge house. I figured you'd have a maid or two to do all the grocery shopping and cleaning around the house.
Yeah, right. Well, I am planning on hiring a gardener and someone to do the house maintenance when it's needed, but no maid at the moment. I plan to do all the cooking and cleaning and anything else that needs to be done.
Oh, really? I see. I didn't realize you had such a working class mentality.
Are you serious? Working class mentality? Seems a bit rude.
Oh, please. I was only kidding. Don't take it literally.
I'm sorry, I really have to get back to work.
Don't tell me you also work. Yeah, right. I've never seen you leave the house for work or anything.
I work at home. You know, online. With all the technology now, you really don't have to leave your home. Things have really changed in the last few years.
Is that right? I thought you were just a regular housewife. I see. So you're working.
Okay, like I said, I really have to be getting back to work. Goodbye!
All right then. Talk to you again.
Hello, Arlene? Do you have a little time?
Yeah, what is it?
Yeah, you know my son Carl. He was saying something weird today, and I was just wondering.
Yeah, Carl. What about him?
I hope you're not offended by what I'm about to say, but I had to make sure I had it right. Could you verify something for me?
Oh, yeah. Okay. What is it?
Again, I'm just trying to confirm something, so don't take it the wrong way. Are you seeing James? Like, just the two of you meeting somewhere?
Huh? Why do you ask?
You know that your house is on the way from my son's school, right? Carl said he saw James going into your house on several occasions.
Oh, I see. So he saw him, huh? Well, I suppose if there's a witness, there's no use in denying it. Yep, that's right. Your son isn't mistaken.
I have been meeting with your husband James on numerous occasions.
And I have to admit, it's very... how can I put this? A mature, adult relationship, if you get my meaning.
You're not serious.
I am, and we've been seeing each other quite a few times. You've probably noticed that he's been out quite a bit recently.
Yes, I certainly noticed that. It hasn't been his normal everyday routine recently. Now I see what's going on.
Ever since I saw him when you were first moving in, well, I had my eye on him.
Excuse me?
The reason why I sent you that line message was just a ploy to get acquainted and be a little closer to James. Worked out nicely in my opinion. I really have to thank you for acting as our matchmaker, if you will.
Hold on a second. Arlene, you're forgetting something, aren't you? You're married, if I remember correctly.
Yes, that's right. But my husband is away on a business trip. No, not really a trip, though. He's working out of state for about a year now. That's why I was able to make my home our little love nest, if you will.
Let me get this straight. You're married, but you have no qualms about having a fling? What in God's name were you thinking?
Oh, having a fling? It's nothing of the sort. You don't understand, Sarah. We're in love. We're both in agreement. We both want this. No one is having a little fling. This is the real deal.
What I'm saying is it's not what a married woman would do.
What can I say? We are in love. There's nothing we or anybody else can do about it.
You're being totally illogical. You can't just say you're in love and that's it.
There's nothing to worry about. All you have to do is divorce him and I'll marry him. Everyone's happy, right?
You are totally demented. Besides, there is no use talking with you. Anyway, let me ask you a little about James. I may even have to force you guys to stop seeing each other. This isn't over.
Oh my! Did I anger you? if it's about compensation, don't worry about that. I'll pay for that, no problem. And as for James, he's staying over at my house tonight, so he won't be home for dinner or breakfast.
Let me just ask you one thing. Why James? Why did you target him?
It's obvious, isn't it? What does a woman want from a guy the most? Money, of course. His high annual salary, and he's certain not lacking in that department.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, maybe I talked a little too much, so may as well tell you.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Your husband makes $500,000 a year, and I did the deed with him. So just hurry up and divorce him and forget about the whole thing.
Okay. $500,000 a year? What the hell are you talking about? Where did that come from?
Okay, see ya.
Oh, sorry about that. Didn't realize you had lined me since last night. I had my phone in my briefcase. Didn't notice it until now. Sorry. You messaged me a bunch of times, I see. Is it urgent?
Urgent? Are you nuts, James? Of course it's urgent. Do you realize what you've done?
Huh? What is it? Are you pissed about something?
Oh no, I'm not pissed, dear. Of course I am. What the hell were you thinking? Where the hell are you anyway?
I'm at my girlfriend's place. The one I recently started seeing.
Are you talking to Arlene?
Huh? You know about her, sis?
Yeah, I got it straight from the horse's mouth.
Oh, I see. Oh, well. Now that you know, I'm going out with Arlene. As you already know. So I don't know why I'm telling you. I know your kids go to the same school as hers. But I would appreciate it if you would not make a big fuss about it.
What is it with you, James? You seem so blasé about it.
Huh? Really? I think I'm actually acting pretty normal.
You do realize that she's a married woman.
Huh? Say again?
I'm saying that this Arlene of yours, she's got a husband.
Excuse me? You're kidding, right?
By your reaction, I can tell that you had no inkling.
I know she has 2 kids, but I figured she was a single mom. She never mentioned a husband.
She said her husband is working out of state, at least for a couple of years, it seems.
You're not serious.
What's Arlene doing now?
She's still asleep.
How about her kids? Where are they?
She has the kids stay at her folks' place when I stay over, so they're not here at the moment.
Okay, I see. Just act normally and don't say that I called or that you know she has a husband. Just do as you usually do and come straight home. I know you probably have some affection for her, but we have to do something. For now, just get home and we'll discuss what we'll be doing going forward.
Okay. Yeah, sis. See you later then.
Sarah, are you there? Where is James? Do you have him locked up at home? Where is he? I haven't been able to contact him the last couple of days. What have you done with him? Just because he chose me over you? That doesn't give you the right to come between our love. You're really playing dirty, you know that, Sarah.
Lock him up? Are you serious? I don't have some weird fetish to lock my little brother up in his room.
Huh?
Huh?
What do you mean, little brother?
Yeah, my little brother James. I call him Jimmy, actually.
Huh? Hold it a second. You're telling me he's not your husband?
Jimmy, my husband? Are you serious? My husband died 3 years ago. So that $500,000 that you had your eye on? I'm sorry to break it to you, but that annual salary can't be my husband's. Obviously.
You're making this up, right?
And no way Jimmy has that kind of annual salary.
You're kidding, right? Then who is it that has the $500,000 annual salary?
Maybe you're thinking of our grandfather who recently passed away?
Your grandfather?
You might remember that there was an old man living here alone before we moved in.
Yes, I do recall there was someone living there, but I didn't give it much thought.
That was our late grandpa. Or, more accurately, he was my husband's father. When he was alive, he was a pretty well-established real estate owner. And he bought and sold property all around the state, even some out of state. I was told he made close to $500,000 a year. Before he passed away recently, he divided up the inheritance and he drew up a will that would leave an equal amount to all family members. As for this house, he left the house to my husband and I, then to me, since my husband passed away 3 years ago.
Oh, so does that mean... That means you, Sarah, you're the sole owner of that huge house?
That's right.
You're not serious, are you?
Luckily, my grandfather knew that I would be able to maintain the house financially, and he knew that his son cherished the place. It had a lot of memories, so he left the house to me. After my father retired from his company, we all moved into this house. Me, my son Carl, my younger brother James, and my folks. The 5 of us live here now.
I can't believe this! James never mentioned all of this. So there was no reason to even take James from you.
Yeah, I was wondering why you were so adamant about going out with my brother. When I told him that you were married and that your husband was working out of state, he was pretty shocked. He had no idea that you were married. He thought you were just a single mom. As a matter of fact, you told him that, right? He feels he was duped into the relationship. So, I would appreciate it if you would leave my brother alone. He wants nothing to do with you.
Just out of curiosity, what kind of annual income does James have?
Well, considering his age, probably average.
Oh, really? Well, if that's the case, no thanks. I want nothing to do with him. Goodbye. Hey, Sarah, what's the meaning of this? Did you spill the beans about my little affair with James to my husband?
Yes, told him all about it. Actually, not exactly me. It was James. He told him directly.
Are you serious? He just went ahead and told him everything. Has he totally lost his mind?
Well, you know, my brother just couldn't let that pass. He felt he'd been conned. He simply couldn't let it go. I remember that you told me where your husband worked, so I told him. And then after he asked around and found out where to contact him, my brother felt bad about the whole affair. He didn't think you were married. He needed to apologize to your husband and told him everything that happened. He had to get it off his chest is what he had to do.
What the hell was he thinking? You know what happened because of his stupidity? My husband divorced me. That's what happened. Are you guys happy now?
Oh, is that so? That's really too bad.
And what's more, I lost custody to my child, and now I have to pay compensation as well as educational support.
Oh, yeah? Really sorry to hear that. Well, I guess it was your fault. I wish you luck.
Excuse me? What's with the attitude? Don't you even feel a little remorse for what you did? You ruined my life! I have no family now! What the hell am I going to do now?
Remorse? No. Not a bit. It was all of your making. Because of your dumb little mistake, my brother was used like some toy and tossed away. How do you think he feels? He is my brother, and I love him. and I would do anything to protect him. You should be the one having remorse. The whole family is worried about my brother's mental stability. He was really hurt. Did you even stop to think about that? After he talked to your husband and confessed to what he did, he has finally come to grips with this whole mess. So I would appreciate it if you would just butt out and leave our family alone.
Oh, you can't talk to me that way. I was going to allow him to get back with me. Don't come crying to me later on because I will simply ignore him. I have way more important things to do.
What the hell are you talking about? You really think my brother would go back to you? You conned him into this because you thought you'd get rich. You didn't give 2 cents about him. He would never go back to a conniving, money-grubbing little witch like you. You show your face in front of us again, you'll regret it.
How dare you say such a...
I hear you had to promise that you would never come near your family again. Isn't that what your husband demanded of you? If that's the case, the same goes for our family. Please, get lost.
You people are evil! I was going to live with my parents, but they cut all ties with me. But I'm alone, completely alone. What have you done to me? I have to work to pay child support. How can I do that alone? Isn't there one person in this whole world that will be on my side?
I really don't want to hear this crap any longer. Please get lost. I heard that Arlene never really worked much, just some part-time jobs here and there over the years. And now she is forced to work and pay child support all by herself. Well, it's all of her making. But after all that, she failed to admit her guilt. She finally found a live-in job at a family-run restaurant. It went okay for a while, until she started making moves towards the owner's son. She apparently tried her con game again, but the owner found out and fired her. On top of that, the owner pressed charges, and she was forced to pay compensation. By all accounts, the son was married. When I heard that, I just shook my head in dismay. But she wasn't finished just yet. Evidently, she borrowed money from some shady loan agency and, not surprisingly, got into trouble again. I later heard she came crying back to her ex-husband, apparently fearing for her life. But she soon realized she was no longer able to contact anybody. I never heard what happened to her after that.